Yuka Roy joins us. Emmanuel Macron hosted global CEOs at the Palace of Versailles. What a venue. At his annual Choose France summit aimed at wooing foreign investors, it seems, well, he had a good day.
Yep. Well, France bagged a total of 15 billion euros in investment pledges through 56 projects. It's a record since the summit began in 2018. Now, 180 international business executives attended this year's event at the sumptuous palace built by Louis XIV. Topping the list was Microsoft announcing new investments worth 4 billion euros into AI and cloud infrastructure. Amazon also said it would spend 1.2 billion euros to boost its logistics and cloud business in France. Macron held roundtable discussions with global CEOs on artificial intelligence and quantum computing, as well as on green tech and decarbonisation. In his closing remark, he stressed that Europe must rethink its traditional business model as lagging behind in energy transition and artificial intelligence, and in the face of growing protectionism in the US and China. Let's take a lesson.
War is in Europe with a lot of uncertainties. WTO rules are no more respected by the two big guys in the room. Both China and the US are not compliant with WTO, given the level of subsidies they give to their industry. And it doesn't work to have a business model based on ancient rules and to be the only one to be compliant with global regulation. So this is a wake-up call for the Europeans.
Emmanuel Macron at Versailles speaking in English, and he speaks in English extremely well. Meanwhile, some businesses in the UK are struggling. Small live music venues crying out for help, saying their situation is now worse than during the COVID crisis.
Yeah, worse than during COVID. Well, they're facing actually a perfect storm of surging costs and rent combined with reduced purchasing power for their customers. A group of MPs in England has recommended a new tax on arena and stadium tickets as the best way to support them. Camille Knight has the story.
At the heart of East London, musician Cosmo performs for a room full of people. The venue has sold out for tonight, as it has done for the past 2 gigs. But the vibrant atmosphere hides a rather different picture.
It's a paradox here that you can sell out shows and yet you can lose money. From the outside, we look like we're doing fantastically, but underneath it all, there are extreme financial pressures.
Reduced purchasing power for customers combined with rent hikes and utility bills have meant gig venues are struggling to stay open. The Music Venue Trust says the sector has taken a battering. Financial stress has led 125 UK venues to abandon live music in 2023, with half of those shutting entirely. That means about 30,000 fewer shows took place last year.
What's happened is that the costs of running a live music venue have literally exploded, whether that's energy costs, rent. Energy went up by an average of 240%.
The Trust has been campaigning for £1 to be added to tickets for arena and stadium shows in order to subsidise the pubs and clubs where many headline acts start out.
All of our biggest exports, all of our biggest names, Adele, Coldplay, Dua Lipa, whoever you want, Arctic Monkeys, whichever bands you want to pick up, the Beatles, the Stones, all of these bands started in a small venue like this one.
A report published over the weekend by a cross-party group of MPs has recommended the levy on arena and stadium tickets, also suggesting a cut in VAT to help grassroots venues. The National Arenas Association says it'll be reviewing the report this week.
Keep music live, that's all I can say, loud and proud. I've got a couple of children involved in that sector and they would back their old dad up, I'm sure. Now then, Yuka, Japan's Mount Fuji is limiting visitor access.
Well, it will be reservation only from July. Now, although it's the highest mountain in Japan, Mount Fuji is popular even with beginners, with its peak at just 3,776 metres in altitude. But increasing injuries by underprepared climbers and rubbish littering the trail have prompted local authorities to cap the number of daily visitors to 4,000 starting in July. Those who plan to climb Fuji will now have to book in advance through a new online system that will open on May the 20th and pay 2,000 yen, or about 12 euros, in entry fee. I must say, I mean, this is a lot of visitors and they do seem under-equipped.
Yuka, I think it's a good idea that these things become paid for because it helps to keep things clean. And what I don't understand is why people go to these places and drop litter and other things, when all they need to do is take a little plastic bag with them, put it in there, knot it, put it in their rucksack, and that's fine.
Yeah, well, you know, it's fair to say that most climbers do that, but then
They do.
You know, you cannot force everyone to do the same. So.
No, I think perhaps we should. You know. Yuka, thank you very much indeed for the business. Great to see you, Yuka Roya, there. Thank you.